I know a lot of people say, well, what do you think your next one will be like? You know, and that, it's just, you can't really give an answer, you know what I mean, until it's done. And then you say, well, that is what I was talking about 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Hey everybody, John with Vynyly here. Wanted to jump on and make a video, kind of a last minute video today, because I was working on some other videos, but today I heard that Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys had passed away. Now Brian was an older guy, I think he was 82, and so he had some health issues lately, so it's not completely unexpected, I guess, but still a shock when you lose, when the music world loses someone that big, right? Someone who had that much influence. So I wanted to do a little video about Brian today, because without Brian Wilson, this Vynyly channel probably wouldn't even exist. Now I get it, this may not be the kind of video for all of you to watch. You may not be interested in this, but if you come back on Friday, maybe, and I should be releasing a 5 on Friday about Whitesnake's 1987 self-titled album. So come back on Friday if this isn't your thing. But believe me, this is a little weird for me too. I mean, Generation X, right? When we had something to say, we would say it to whoever was in front of us at the time, or whoever we could get on the phone. It feels a little weird to have a thought and then think, okay, I'm going to record this and send it out to potentially thousands of people. It's a little strange to do that. So I get it. If this isn't your type of video, come back on Friday. But I have learned over the years, a couple years, that this Vynyly thing that we're all building together, it's not just about me making videos telling you things or teaching you things. It's really about just making a video and starting a conversation about it. I learn more from you guys than I teach, and that's a pretty special thing, I think. So I wanted to get on here and talk about Brian. He had a huge influence on me, primarily because of these two albums right here. This is Endless Summer, a 1974 compilation, and then in 1975, Spirit of America was released. So I got these. I believe these were Christmas gifts, probably in 74, 75. And so I was less than 10 years old when I got these. But I spent hours and hours listening to these records, looking at this artwork. I mean, I probably have listened to these albums hundreds of times. These are the actual albums from 74 and 75. But, you know, looking at the artwork on the back, looking at the artwork inside. I guess it's easier if I just insert a picture. But these, here we go. I mean, look at this artwork. This was done, both of these were done by an artist named Keith McConnell. And it's just amazing. I like the Spirit of America artwork because there's just so much to look at here. Sometimes I would even put on the Endless Summer record, because sometimes I like those songs a little bit more. Sometimes I would just look at the Spirit of America artwork because it was just so interesting. And there's pictures of the band inside, of the guys, of trying to figure out who is who, because I didn't know all of them, you know, their names and faces. So, you know, again, there was obviously no internet back then, so a little harder to know who was who because it wasn't labeled. The songs on these are exactly what you would expect. It's the hits. It's Surfin' Safari, Surfer Girl, Surfin' USA, Little Deuce Coupe, Fun, 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 In My Room, The Girls on the Beach, Wendy, California Girls, Girl Don't Tell Me, which is one of my favorite, not just one of my favorite Beatles songs, it's maybe one of my favorite songs of all time, and it's only about 2 minutes long.
Girl, don't tell me you're right. Girl, don't tell me you're right.
I mean, most of these songs are 2 minutes, maybe some of them are even under 2 minutes long. but they're just so well crafted, and they just connect. You're just able to connect with them so well. It's really amazing. Help Me Rhonda is also on that one. Spirit of America has Dance, 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 409, Barbara Ann, Little Girl I Once Knew, which is another one of my personal favorites. Do You Want to Dance, Little Honda, Good to My Baby, Why Do Fools Fall in Love, which is a cover. And actually, Spirit of America was also probably my first exposure to the Beatles because of Tell Me Why. The Beach Boys did a cover of Tell Me Why, and that might have been the first Beatles. It was definitely the first Beatles song I ever owned. Hard to remember back then if I'd ever heard one before or not, but it may be the first Beatles tune I ever heard. So as a kid, I'm listening to this music and I'm connecting with it. Even the stuff that I was too young to really fully understand, I still was able to connect with that, and all of you did too, most likely. So it influenced or spurned maybe, that's a big word, my love of music, love of physical media, artwork, album artwork, and also as an amateur musician, I can remember just trying to sing along, not just to the lead vocals, but to all the harmony parts, trying to make a drum set out of whatever toys I had laying around. Lincoln Logs were the best because it came in this cardboard tube, right, with a metal bottom. You can flip that over, and Lincoln Logs essentially are just sticks. So I made some drum sets. I think I had a xylophone too. So you can imagine the torture my parents went through when I'm listening to these albums over and over and over, and then banging on all my toys that I turned into drums. But that's the kind of influence that Brian had on me with these albums. Now I know a lot of people are probably more influenced by Pet Sounds. That's kind of a groundbreaking album for a lot of people. I didn't really get into Pet Sounds until I was older, but these are like core memories for me. Without Brian Wilson, without this music collected on these 2 LPs, they're actually double LPs, so these 4 LPs, I might not be the person I am today. I don't know who I would be. So it's really interesting to think that someone who you've never met could have such a huge influence on the course of your life, really. There are only a few of those for me, but Brian was one of them. And I know that he touched a lot of people's lives with his music, and millions of people, not just me. So when we lose a giant like that, like Brian Wilson, who his work, his art, touched probably everyone. I don't know anyone in the English-speaking world who has never heard a Beach Boys song. So just imagine that kind of influence and that ripple effect, right? I mean, here we are talking about him. I never met Brian Wilson, but yet the influence that he had and his art had is unprecedented, really. And these days, man, we're so polarized, and it's left and right and conservative and liberal, and losing someone like this can kind of help you remember that music is universal. It cuts across all of that stuff. It cuts through all of that garbage. And we're all, at the end of the day, we're all just human beings, and we're all affected by things, and we're all touched by different forms of art. Whatever you're into, it may not even be into music. Whatever you're into. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. And for those of us who appreciated not just the Beach Boys, but Brian as an artist overall and composer and songwriter, it's a big loss today. And wherever he is, if he's in the ether somewhere or if he's in heaven, I hope you're able to, or willing, able and willing to just reconnect with some of that music. that for a lot of us was made a long time ago. Well, for everyone, it was made a long time ago. But for those of us who grew up with it, sometimes we can kind of lose touch with it a little bit because it's from our childhood and we've moved on to other things. But as simple as some of these songs are, like I said, a lot of them are just around 2 minutes long. And as simple as the subject matter may be, surfing or girls on the beach, there's still a lot of power in those songs. So if you've got some time over the next few days to maybe appreciate Brian's music, I'd love to hear what you think, some of your memories about this music in your lives. I'm not trying to get too deep and sappy here, but that's what we do on this channel. We talk about music and music art, and again, things that matter to us. That's what we talk about here. So drop a comment, reply with a video if you like. And again, thanks for watching all of this hemming and hawing that I'm doing, because this wasn't really a planned video, but I wanted to do it. So I appreciate you sticking with me. And check back on Friday again. I should have that Whitesnake album released, the 5 on Friday about the Whitesnake album on Friday. And I'm working on another video about a turntable that I found at an estate sale. Unbelievable. Maybe the best estate sale find I've ever had. So I'm going to try to get that one edited and published soon too. So stick around for that. And thanks everybody, and have a good day.
I mean, Carl, it's embarrassing. Here I am rapping my head off. It's one of those things.
Oh, God, you are so great.
I like food. Creative food.